And welcome into UCCU Ballpark. I'm Brian Priest, joined by Mike Matthews, as always. Just about ready for first pitch of the fourth game on tap today here at UCC Ballpark in beautiful Orem, Utah, home of the Utah Valley Wolverines. Today we've got the American Fork Cavemen, the number 1 seed in the 6A bracket, taking on the Mountain Ridge Sentinels this afternoon. The Sentinels won this morning, handing Riverton a loss to advance into this game. Mountain Ridge needs to win to keep their season alive and force a rubber match tomorrow night at 7 o'clock here against the Cavemen. If American Fork wins, they will advance to the 6A championship game. What are you looking for from this one?
Yeah, I think basically what we've got to see here is that the Cavemen are rolling. They have experience. They've been here before. They've got a lot of the leadership experience, both in coaching and players. They've got a game plan. They're going to go out and execute that game plan. Mountain Ridge's game plan is to disrupt that. They have momentum from their win earlier. They need to build on that momentum with a win against Riverton. Come out, execute, and attack.
Lineup for the Sentinels, a few changes from the game this morning. Leading off, the third baseman, Stockton Falks. Cooper Goff, the center fielder, batting second. Ethan Iacono gets the start on the mound today. He'll bat third. Brody Gerard playing first base, batting cleanup. Dalton Fay enters the lineup for the first time. He's the designated hitter in the 5-hole. In the 6th spot, Riker Morton gets the start in right field with Iacono pitching. Leo Bakayoko gets his first start at shortstop, batting 7th. Brody Buck, the catcher, drops to the 8th spot in the order. And Tegan Jenkins will bat 9th, the second baseman for Mountain Ridge. As Falks takes strike one from Talon Willardson. Willardson making his 11th appearance this season. He comes into this game with an unblemished 5-0 record. Willardson has a 2.42 ERA. He's thrown 34 2/3 innings, giving up 18 runs, 12 have been earned. But the strikeout is Willardson's game. He struck out 34 batters against just 9 walks. Nearly a 4 punch-outs to 1 walk average. Counts 0-2 for the Sentinel leadoff hitter, Falks. Fouls that pitch out of play.
Yeah, and like you said, Mountain Ridge is going to have to put the ball in play here. The swings and misses and strikeouts are not going to be able to get the job done against the Cavemen tonight.
Falks hitting .417. Takes ball 1 off the outside corner. Not a huge RBI man as Falks. Does have some power. He's got 9 doubles and a triple this season. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3. Falks is retired. Makes room for Cooper Goff. Goff hitting .303. Well struck. Cooper Goff going back on it. Jai-ho! A solo home run for Cooper Goff, his 7th of the year. And the Sentinels strike first.
Great stroke by Cooper Goff. Stayed aggressive at the plate, got the pitch he was looking for, and drove it completely over the wall in right field.
The ball had not been carrying. It didn't carry well at all yesterday. The first 2 games this morning, a lot of dead zone in that outfield, but the last hour or so really picked up. We had a home run in Game 3, and that's the first homer here in Game 4. Mountain Ridge grabs the 1-0 lead. Swinging to the first pitch, hard hit, ground ball to third. Harry Gardner can't handle that ball at third base. That's going to go down as an error. Ethan Iacono reaches. Go ahead and give you the defensive alignment for the Cavemen. Max Miller In left field, C.J. Mascaro in center, River Litke in right, Harry Gardner at third, Cooper Jones at short, Bodie Gajero at second base, Brandon Upham at first, and Cash Paulson behind the plate, forming the battery with Talon Willardson. Apologies to the Gajero family for getting that name incorrect yesterday, but we're professionals, always working on our craft. So one down here in the top of the first inning. Stockton Folks struck out. Cooper Goff followed with a solo home run, and Ethan Iacono now on base, setting the table for Brody Gerard. Counts 1-1 for Gerard.
Great job by Mountain Ridge thus far, coming out and jumping all over the pitcher. One run on the board, runner at first base. I want to make sure Williamson's going to throw some pitches here in this first inning.
Now 1-2. So fast start to this game for Mountain Ridge as they jump out in front on that Cooper Goff home run. See if they can add on a little bit more, put the Cavemen in a hole. Gerard strikes out swinging, waving to that pitch off the outside corner. Second strikeout in the inning for Willardson. And here's Dalton Fay taking his first cuts today. Fay, a sophomore, comes into this game hitting .400 on the year. Decent sample size. This is his 40th plate appearance of the season. He's driven in 8 runs, has 5 doubles. Looks at strike 2, behind 0-2.
Let's see if Williamson goes outside with this next pitch. His other 2 punch-outs have come on outside pitches.
Just misses the corner. Good fastball. And the 0-2 fouled away. Check on the runner at first base. Back in safely is Iacono. Dalton Fay still at the plate. And the sophomore strikes out. Willardson strikes out the side. As we head to the bottom of the first inning, Mountain Ridge leads 1-0 on a Cooper Goff home run. You're watching high school baseball on KSLSports.com. Bottom of the first inning, Mountain Ridge leading 1-0. Ethan Iacono on the mound for the Sentinels, facing a very tough, very deep American Fork lineup, beginning with the center fielder C.J. Mascaro batting .398, followed by second baseman Bodie Gajero in the 2-hole. Cooper Jones batting third, hitting .406. Cash Paulson catching, and in the cleanup spot today, hitting .437, Crew Ingersoll. The coach's son, the designated hitter, batting fifth. River Litke in the 6th spot. Batting 7th, left fielder Max Miller. In the 8 hole, it's third baseman Harry Gardner, and in the 9 spot, first baseman Brandon Upham. He'll be facing Ethan Iacono. Iacono on the mound for the first time in these last couple of days. He's making his 9th appearance this season, 2-0 with a 6.16 earned run average. He's thrown 25 innings, struck out 31, but command has been a bit of an issue at times for Iacono. He's walked 25 batters and allowed 22 earned runs.
Yeah, Ethan has the capacity to come out and pitch an absolute gem if he can get consistent.
Swinging to the first pitch as Mascaro puts it into the gap. Could be 2. Sprinting into second base. The throw was cut off. A leadoff double for C.J. Mascaro. The Cavemen are in business.
Yeah, and if you're Mountain Ridge, you do not want to see Mascaro get hot. He has the capacity to be a major disruption in this game, both fielding in the field as well as hitting.
So Bodie Guerrero will hit after a quick meeting between Iacono and his catcher Brody Buck. Gives us a chance to tell you about the defense for the Sentinels. Caden Wallen in left field, Cooper Goff in center, Riker Morton in right, Stockton Phelps at third, Tyler James at short, Tegan Jenkins at second, and Brody Gerard playing first. Brody Buck gets another start behind the plate. Iacono misses inside, 1-0 to Guerrero. Guerrero swings through that pitch. Counts 1-1.
Good pop on that fastball from Ethan. We talked about it before. If he's able to locate 2 of his pitches, he has the capacity to come out and do a very good job against Cavemen.
Misses outside, 2-1. Guerrero hitting .415, has driven in 19. RBI chance with Mascaro following that leadoff double. Looks like another base hit. Mascaro had to hold up at second initially, waiting to make sure that ball was going to land. He still scores. And on the throw home, Guerrero advances to second. So the Cavemen bounce right back and tie the game 1-1. It was American Fork yesterday with a fast start. They scored 4 runs in the first inning, eventually pulling away for a 6-3 win to make it into today's game, beating the Riverton Silverwolves yesterday in the 4th game of the day. Good look from Iacono. Gets a swinging miss from Cooper Jones.
And if you're Mountain Ridge, you know the Cavemen can hit. You know they're going to put up some runs. They're going to get hits. The key is that each inning you minimize the damage, minimize the amount of times they're able to put runs across the board and allow your team to stay in it inning by inning.
Jones fouls the ball out of play. So we'll give Guerrero a single on that RBI, advancing to second on the throw home. Still no outs in the inning. Iacono misses high.
It's not a bad spot to miss, but it can't be that high. It can't completely just look like a ball right out of the pitcher's hand. It's got to start looking like it's going to end up in the top edge of the strike zone and then finish too high for the hitter to hit.
There's ball 2. Evens the count 2-2. Following Jones, Cash Paulson will hit.
Well, we had mentioned it a little bit earlier in the day yesterday. Watched one of the pitchers consistently missing high, rushing to home plate a little bit. As we're watching Ethan pitch here, it's a similar concept. His arm is lagging behind and he's missing high consistently.
Looks like he tried to rush through his delivery on that one. Ends up spiking one for a ball 4. So the first 3 batters reach against Ethan Iacono.
Yeah, it looks like he actually fell down on the mound, either lost his footing or I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but
maybe caught a spike in the turf. As the coach comes out to have a word with Iacono, just trying to settle him down after the first 3 runners reach. Taking a look at these 2 teams. Mountain Ridge comes in with a .295 team batting average. American Fork .372. But it's the Caveman slugging ability that really makes the difference. Mascaro's got 10 home runs. You've got 4 from Cooper Jones. There's several guys throughout this lineup. Paulson has a pair, but Gajero has a pair. So a bunch of guys for the Cavemen that can do damage. If Iacono is not careful, he could put his team in a hole early. Squaring around to bunt as Paulson bunts it foul.
Yeah, and I like this look by Ingersoll. You've got nobody out, runners at first and second. You're tied 1-1. Not a bad idea. Play a little bit small ball. Move guys over and then let the hits get 2 runs rather than maybe just 1 here.
Catches the outside corner, strike 2.
Ingersoll yelling down in the batter's box. I'm not sure he missed a sign on that last one. Ooh.
Wheels and throws to second. Good play by Jenkins to keep that ball on the infield. Almost thrown away by Iacono. Taking a look back at American Fork in the first inning yesterday. Took advantage of a walk and 4 consecutive singles. So not a lot of extra bases going on for American Fork, but you can see they just keep the line moving with good at-bat after good at-bat. Paulson looks at ball 1. Paulson yesterday had an RBI single in that first, ended up 1 for 4 for the day. Iacono again misses outside. Just like you're saying, Mike, it looks like he's struggling with the mechanics of his delivery and just missing high a lot right now. There's the 2-2. Again, ball 3 high.
Yeah, tough to see. Iacono has thrown a lot of pitches as of right now and has not recorded an out. You see American Fork's game plan here. He is not finding the strike zone consistently. They are making sure they're getting their pitch.
And he misses outside, walking Cash Paulson, so back-to-back bases on balls. The bases are loaded for the Cavemen and Crew Ingersoll. Ingersoll, the senior from the right side, hitting .371 this year. He's driven in 18 runs. He's got a chance to pad those numbers right now.
And you're seeing personnel head down in the bullpen for Mountain Ridge. This is a do-or-die game for them. They've got one guy up right now. It looks like he's hurrying to get going.
Still nobody down, bottom of the first inning. 1-1 ball game. Strike one.
Yeah, and I'm being a little bit detail-oriented here, a little bit finicky, but you see it in the wind-up when Ethan comes through. He's more balanced. He gives us time for his arm to get into the right arm slot, and he just located his best fastball of the day.
It's a high pop-up left side behind the third base bag. Making the call is Falks. He makes the catch in fair territory. Runners hold. First out of the inning. Well, that's a big out for Iacono, I think, just to help calm the nerves right now. It looks like that's left-hander McKay Callahan getting loose down in the bullpen for Mountain Ridge. Callahan already threw in the first game this afternoon. It should be an interesting day if Iacono can't right the ship right now, as he has a word with the second base umpire. Not sure what this conversation is.
Yeah, I think it was initiated by Iacono asking him a question, so maybe there was some talking back and forth between him and that umpire, maybe about hand placement. A lot of times you can't go to the surface of the baseball after touching your mouth or certain parts. And I don't know if that was it or if he was trying to just get explanation so that there's no balk. And they're still having a conversation out here.
You want to make sure that Iacono knows exactly what he's trying to do and what the umpires are looking for. But at the same time, if I'm a coach in that Mountain Ridge dugout, it makes me wonder if Iacono is 100% focused on pitching right now. It's a fly ball out to right field. That's caught by Riker Morton. Runners tag. American Fork grabs a 2-1 lead on that sac fly by River Litke. Bodie Gajero comes in to score. Cooper Jones advances to third. Cash Paulson holds at first.
Good job by American Fork executing here. Ball in play, sacrifice fly, get another run. In a bases loaded situation like this, when you don't have any outs, you really want to maximize as many runs as you can. I know that sounds kind of like saying the obvious, but there are times where you just don't. You only get one run when you've got three runners on. It'll come back to bite you later in the game.
Max Miller takes a big rip at that pitch. Strike one. Miller leading the Cavemen with a .476 batting average.
And we saw it in the first inning in yesterday's game with American Fork, sending a runner, having him stop halfway to see if they can get a run down and potentially even get a run to score. We'll see if they try to pull that again here.
And that play, the rundown that allowed River Litke to score, came with Max Miller at the plate yesterday afternoon. So you know that this personnel is able to execute that move. Here's the 0-2. Misses outside.
And for those that didn't see it, what would happen here is that you're going to see the runner on first base get a lead. The interesting part is Iacono was just setting up to go into the windup. Now he's going to set up in the stretch position. But you'd see this runner get off right now and get stranded on purpose to try and get a run down. so that the runner from third would have a chance at scoring, and it did work yesterday.
It's a play you're starting to see more and more across all levels of baseball. 1-2 count against Miller. And Miller gets hit by the pitch on the front elbow. So Iacono looked like he may have been settling down, gets a couple of flyouts. Hits Max Miller, bringing Harry Gardner to the plate and loading the bases once again.
Well, with how this first inning has gone, the fact that American Fork currently has 2 runs and there's 2 outs, and that Mountain Ridge has a chance to get out with only 2 runs on the board is a good sign for Mountain Ridge, but they've got to get the job done and get this last out.
That's the first pitch to Gardner, fouled away. On the bases, it's Cooper Jones at third, Cash Paulson at second, and Max Miller at first after the hit by pitch. Iacono again misses outside. Cavemen started this game off with a double followed by a single from Guerrero that scored C.J. Mascaro. Cooper Jones and Cash Paulson followed with walks. Pop up right side. First baseman's there. Gerard squeezes it to end the inning. American Fork puts 2 on the board. They take a 2-1 lead over Mountain Ridge as we head to the top of the second inning here at UCCU Ballpark. You're watching the 6A High School State Championships on KSLSports.com.
With a TabSpend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
How's your card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. TabSpend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
And Tab Bank, home of the Tab Spending Rewards checking account with 3.5% annual yield on your account balance and 1% cash back on eligible purchases. But great rewards are just the beginning. Convenient online and mobile banking with no hidden or complex qualification requirements, no minimum opening balance, and no account fees. It's a big deal. Member FDIC. Top of the second inning. Talon Willardson back on the hill. He'll be facing Dalton Fay. So I believe it's Riker Morton taking the first cuts here in the inning. So Morton will lead off, followed by Bachioko and Brody Buck.
Yeah, and I don't think it can be understated just how fortunate Mountain Ridge was able to get out of that first inning with only 2 runs. It looked fairly bleak there for a little while, and the fact they had bases loaded with nobody out.
So that solo home run from Cooper Goff looks even bigger with American Fork and the bats coming through in the bottom of the first inning. Sentinels fighting for their 2025 baseball lives. The Cavemen can afford to drop a game if that's how it ends up. Ground ball to second. Morton's retired. Now Bachioko will take his first at-bats. He's entered several times as a pinch runner. This is the first start he's made in the tournament. Leo hitting .247. He's got 2 doubles.
For those that have been watching, these umpires have been all over the teams, making sure they're staying in the dugout. I feel like we get at least Every start of the game, like both times, umpires are constantly telling him to get in the dugouts.
Sounds like those areas of focus for the umpires are coming through, right?
Yeah.
There's the 0-1. Chopper to third. Gardner has it. 2 up, 2 down here in the second inning. Brody Buck coming up next.
Great job by the third baseman for American Fork, making sure that he's coming across, catching that ball on the big hop, be able to set his feet with his momentum moving him towards first base.
So with 2 down, Buck comes to the plate.
Switch here.
Well, 1-1 count on the sophomore catcher, hitting .321 this season. Buck was 1 for 3 this morning in the win over Riverton. Also drew a walk. Counts 2-2. High fly ball left field underneath it. Miller makes the grab to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Willardson. Go to the bottom of the second inning. American Fork leads Mountain Ridge 2-1 on KSLSports.com. Bottom 2, American Fork leads 2-1 against the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. It's the 9-hole hitter Brandon Upham leading off. Upham hitting .293. He'll face Ethan Iacono. Rough first inning for Iacono. He walked 2 batters and hit a man. Also gave up a couple of base hits before settling in. Gets strike 1 from Upham. Catches the outside edge, 0-2. Sharply hit to short. That's Bachioko. Gets the put out. 1 down.
Yeah, nice to see Iacono come back and challenge the hitter here, get a quick out in the bottom of the second. See if he can settle it down and get some consecutive outs in a row.
Top of the lineup, CJ Mascaro looks at strike 1. Mascaro opened the game for the Cavemen with a double. Came around to score when Bodie Gajero singled. Counts 1-1. Mascaro hitting .398. Big numbers for CJ. He's got 10 doubles this year. A lot of speed. He's tripled 6 times. And don't let the size fool you. He's got 10 home runs, so a lot of power. Waves at strike 2, evening the count.
Mascaro, I believe, a TCU Horned Frog commit.
Comebacker hit right at him. Iacono makes a great play. Mascaro is retired. It's the second comebacker we've seen today. In the previous game, saw Mays Madsen get his glove up to protect himself. Here's Bodie Guerrero. Iacono misses badly. Looked like that ball may have slipped. At least if it was me, I'd blame the fingers.
And sometimes you're in your motion, and as you bring your arm back, the ball just gets to the end of your fingertips, and there is nothing you can do but just let it go and move on to the next pitch.
Misses high, counts 2-0 now for Guerrero. Guerrero hitting .415. He also scored in the first inning. American Fork started fast yesterday, scoring 4 runs, and then the offense cooled off for a little while. We'll see if they can continue applying the pressure against Iacono. Guerrero pulls a ball foul. If Guerrero reaches, Cooper Jones will hit.
Second baseman for Mountain Ridge Jenkins, playing about 10 feet outside of the infield.
Pitch narrowly misses Guerrero, running the count full. Guerrero strikes out swinging. Iacono settling in. Gets a 1-2-3 second inning. We head to the third. American Fork leading 2-1. You're watching 6A Baseball on KSLSports.com. At Athletic Potential, we specialize in helping athletes conquer pain, recover faster, and achieve peak performance. Whether you're a professional, collegiate, high school, travel ball, or recreational athlete, our tailored approach ensures you will be stronger, faster, and more resilient. From personalized physical therapy to sport-specific performance training, we guide you every step of the way. Plus, with remote coaching options, expert support is always within reach. Don't let injuries hold you back. Visit athletic-potential.com to schedule your free consultation today and take the first step towards your best performance yet. Tegan Jenkins swings at the first pitch, ropes it foul down the third base line.
Tegan Jenkins hoping to stay hot after the last game. He had a walk-off single to win it against Riverton.
Jenkins' walk-off was the third of 3 consecutive singles, sending the Mountain Ridge crowd into delirium. The Sentinels advance to face American Fork. Goes the other way. If it's fair, it's extra bases. That touches down. A strong throw. Wow, I stand corrected. That's a single, and Tegan Jenkins is gunned down by River Litke. What a play by River. Litke took a perfect angle to that ball, picks it up off of one bounce, plants and takes a strong throw to second base, nailing Tegan Jenkins by several steps. Squaring around to bunt is Fowlks. And Fowlks is retired. Good play by the catcher, Cash Polston, coming out and making that play.
Yeah, going back to the throw from the right fielder. As an outfielder, that ball, if you're a right fielder, you know very well if it goes towards the line, that runner is thinking too. And if you have a good beat on it, you know you have a good chance of planting, turning, and throwing. And so long as it's on line, you have a good chance. So a lot of times in the outfield, you are hoping for that ball, for that opportunity to throw a runner out of second.
So Goff behind 0-1 with the swinging strike. Can't quite barrel that ball up. It's caught in center field. Mascaro records the third out. That's 6 straight batters retired now by Willardson. We head to the next half inning. American Fork coming to the plate, leading 2-1. You're watching high school baseball on KSLSports.com. Ono still on the mound for Mountain Ridge, heading into the bottom half of the third inning. Leading off is going to be Cooper Jones, the American Fork shortstop, followed by Cash Paulson and Crew Ingersoll. Jones walked before being stranded at third in the first inning. He looks at strike one. Iacono doing a good job following through on that delivery now.
Yeah, something I've noticed, even when they have bases loaded, he switched back to the windup, and it looks like his timing dramatically improves. He's able to locate the ball a lot more effectively.
He delivers ball one down low. There's the 1-2. Slice to right. Foul territory, it drops down. Jones hitting .406 coming into today. And a reminder again, if American Fork wins, they will advance to the 6A championship game. If Mountain Ridge can pull off the upset, they force a do-or-die rubber game tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock.
The last two pitches by O'Connell have been very good, and Jones is just fighting him off.
And Jones is struck out looking. He knew it, immediately turning away in disgust. Iacono gets the punch out. One down here in the third. And the baseball nerd in me always appreciates being able to write a backwards K. Iacono misses high. Ball lifted toward the gap. Center fielder got a good jump on it. Goff makes the grab. 2 down. Cooper Goff almost overran that ball. Makes the catch.
Yeah, good play by Goff. Had pretty exceptional outfield play all day long and yesterday as well.
Now Crew Ingersoll steps into the right-handed batter's box. And Ingersoll gets hit by the first pitch. That's the second batter that Iacono has hit today. And with 2 down, you hate to see that. Giving River Litke a chance. Litke showed off his arm in right field, cutting down Tegan Jenkins on what looked like a sure double. Now we'll see if he can give his team a boost at the plate. And a reminder to all our viewers on KSLSports.com, we are the home of all prep athletics state championships in the state of Utah all week long. The baseball state championships as well as the 5A and 6A softball state championships. All morning, afternoon, and evening, the 4A, 5A, and 6A boys lacrosse championships are being held. And tomorrow, over at America First Field, home of the Utah Royals in Real Salt Lake, the 4A, 5A, and 6A boys soccer championships will be held. So a busy time at KSL Sports. We are here for all your prep sports needs. Bouncer to third, gets through. Base hit from River Litke. Two on, two down for Max Miller.
Consistent trend through every game. 2 quick outs followed by base runners. American Fork and the Mountain Ridge, no different in this game.
Miller leading the Cavemen with a .476 batting average. He was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance. Iacono and Buck get on the same page real quickly with the runner at second base. 2 down here in the third. Iacono looking to close it out with Miller. It's strike 2 swinging. Like a good changeup. There's the 0-2. Shoots it the other way, foul. Miller put a charge into that one, but couldn't keep it fair. We'll do it over. Count remains 0-2.
Iacono a good spot with that last pitch. Probably a little too up, allowing the barrel to get to it and foul it off.
Misses outside. Not a bad miss. Changes the eye level a little bit.
Yeah.
Not so far outside of the zone that Miller doesn't have to at least consider it. And now misses off the inside corner.
And that's a miss by Iacono. That pitch is set up to that last pitch with a fastball up and away. It's changed the eye level and the speed. And what you do is you come back with a breaking ball or some off speed again away. And he missed in with that pitch right there.
All right. The fastball gets the job done, striking out Max Miller to end the inning. We go to the fourth. American Fork leading 2-1 over Mountain Ridge. You're watching 6A baseball on KSLSports.com.
With a Tab Spend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. Tab Spend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
Welcome back to UCCU Ballpark in beautiful Orem, Utah. It's been a spectacular day. All week long with this 6A baseball tournament, just perfect, picture perfect weather. Now leading off the fourth inning, it's Ethan Iacono. Iacono's done a really good job settling in on the mound. After a tough start, Iacono retired 6 straight batters before a hit by pitch in the last inning. Ended up getting out of it by striking out Max Miller. So count goes to 0-2 against the Mountain Ridge 3-hole hitter. Ethan stays alive, getting a piece of that ball.
Yeah, and if you were watching that first inning, you were wondering, whether Mountain Ridge is going to be able to hold down American Fork offensively, and Iacono's done a great job over the last few innings in doing just that.
Keeping his team close, giving them a chance for the upset. Now he has an opportunity to help his own cause. Fouls that ball back. Fly ball right field. Litke makes the catch. Iacono is retired. Here's Brody Gerard. Gerard struck out back in the first inning. It was one of 2 Ks for Willardson in the first frame. Willardson's looked really good in this game. He gave up that home run to Cooper Goff, but that's about the only blemish on his record. Hard hit past the shortstop. That's a base hit. Brody Gerard gets the job done. Brings Dalton Fay to the plate.
Yeah, we to go off of that comment, Willardson has been very good. He has been able to locate, keep hitters off balance, and outside of that, first inning home run, he hasn't had too many balls that have done any damage to him.
Well, you don't mind giving up singles with nobody on base. You don't even mind giving up solo home runs so much. As Fay gets into that one, deep to left, making the grab on the warning track is Max Miller. Not quite enough for Dalton Fay. Just a loud fly out. And here's Riker Morton.
Yeah, Fay got a barrel on that. The problem was he was just a hair out front of it. Rather than be able to get it the full power of his swing, a little out front, left it on the warning track.
So what's this conversation about? I mean, Willardson has really been rolling since that home run. He gave up the base hit in the inning. But the coach, you can see, he comes out immediately after that deep fly ball. Did he notice something perhaps?
Well, I think as a coach, if you see your pitchers out there and he's getting outs, but you're starting to see better contact from the hitters, you've got to go out there and ask the question of, hey, just refocus. Hey, you're leaving the ball in the middle of the plate. Guys are starting to get to it. We need to mix up some looks, try a few things different. Usually as a coach, if you make that trip out there, it's either to tell your infield something just as a reminder or to tell your pitcher, hey, you're doing well, keep staying aggressive. We need you to execute a little bit more towards the edges of the plate.
There's Riker Morton hitting 283, 0 for 1. Takes strike one. Good bounce back pitch from Willardson. So, Coach, you love to see that after a mound visit. He executes the next pitch perfectly.
Right on the black.
That ball into the dirt. Good stop by Polson. Brody Gerard still down at first base after a single. We've had great baseball. I mean, all 8 games that we've done these last 2 days. Why would we expect anything to be different in this one? Morton ground ball to short. Good. Sliding backhanded stop. The throw's not there. It gets away. Gerard advances to third on the play. It was a very difficult move by Cooper Jones, making the backhanded sliding stop. Gets to his feet. Had a chance to make a strong throw. Looked like he just rushed it.
Yeah, great play by Jones to go across the diamond, slide and stand. That is one of those we kind of talked about earlier on turf. You have the opportunity there. It's tough to make that throw all the way in the air sometimes, but on turf you can make that shorter throw with a bigger hop, give your first baseman an easier hop to pick it on. And if you haven't played a lot on turf, you're just not used to it. So we'll see if Mountain Ridge can capitalize on that error.
Strike one on the black outside corner. Leo Bachioco 0 for 1 today. Runners at the corners, Gerard at third, Morton at first, 2 down. Mountain Ridge trails by a run. Evens account 1-1. Very lazy breeze straight out to center field. We have seen the ball start to carry today. I wonder if that'll die down a little bit as the temperatures drop. Willardson steps off the rubber real quick. Now he's back. Gets the sign, comes set. Strike 2. Ties up Bachioco inside.
Willardson's been locating away predominantly to these right-handed hitters, and to come in with something off speed. As a hitter, that ball looks like it's going to eat you up because you've seen away, and then come inside. It's tough to get the hands through right there.
Check on the runner at first. Morton back safely. By the end of the day, we'll either have one team in the 6A state championship or we'll have 2 games on tap tomorrow evening. Bouncer up the middle at second base. Throw to first to retire the side. Bachioco grounds out. We head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. American Fork still leading 2-1. You're watching baseball on KSLSports.com. 8-9-1 due up for American Fork here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Harry Gardner followed by Brandon Upham and the leadoff hitter CJ Mascaro. American Fork scored 2 in the bottom half of the 1st inning, answering 1 from Mountain Ridge on a solo home run by Cooper Goff. And we've been locked right there in a 2-1 game ever since. Cavemen come into this tournament as the top seed in 6A. The 2 seed has already been eliminated. It was the Pleasant Grove Vikings getting knocked out early yesterday morning. Gardner swings through, strike 1. Not going to be an easy path. The 3 seed Davis Darts still alive. The Darts will have to play Lehigh in a win or go home game for both teams tomorrow at 4:30 to decide which of those 2 teams advances to the 6A title game. Gardner waves weakly at strike 2. American Fork third baseman hitting .325 this year. He popped out to first in his first at-bat. Ball from Iacono evens the count 2-2. Four bounces to short. And the throw again is low from Bachioco. It bounces away. Another throwing error. That's the first for the Sentinels. See if American Fork can take advantage. Harry Gardner reaching on the E6 throwing error. He advances to second for Brandon Upham.
Well, on last 2 days, we've seen really fundamental baseball, a lot of good fielding, a lot of good throws. In our last 2 games, we're starting to see some of these throws not find their mark. Errors are starting to rack up, and we really didn't see hardly any errors in about the first 6 games.
Well, we had some misplayed balls in game 1 this morning, but Not really so much errors, just misreading the ball off of the bat. But yeah, we have seen the defenses take a slight nosedive here in the last 2 games. Getting a little bit sloppy. A lot of times that just comes down to focus.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the moment. Every game that you continue to play becomes a little bit more high pressure. You feel it as a player. You've got to learn to just, in the end, you've got to execute and do your best job just to take care of the basics. It's amazing how taking care of the basics will continue to carry you deep into playoff runs, where errors will take you out of those playoff runs very quickly.
Counts 2-0 right now for Upham. Grounded out to short, his first at bat. Looks at strike 1 on the outside corner.
And we'll see what Coach Ingersoll wants to do right here. Just showed bunt on the last one, showing bunt now.
Pulls it back, takes a hack, fouls it away. I've got to imagine that's kind of difficult to do, to show bunt and still have the timing to pull the bat back and get off a good swing.
Yeah, that's something, if you have not practiced, it is a difficult task to do. Although it is something that I imagine that the Cavemen do practice for situations just like this. And I imagine all of these programs all practice that to a certain degree, where you know that certain players are just going to be better at it than others, and sometimes you just need to be able to show it.
Mm-hmm. Two hops to short. They go to third with the throw. And the runner is tagged out. So Harry Gardner's erased. Not sure what Gardner was thinking. Not very good base running as that ball was in front of him. Should have held at second base to make sure that Bachioko was going to make the throw. On a smart read by the shortstop.
Yeah, aggressive base running there. Ball's hit not super soft, but not super hard. You got to read it as a base runner. If it's hit really soft, you know that you can probably beat that throw out to third and then make it a difficult play at first. Nope.
I wonder if this is a question of baseline. I don't know what this conversation is. It looked pretty clear to me that Gardner was tagged out between second and third.
Coach Ingersoll not excited about this call. Hard to know what's exactly going on here, but he had words with both home plate umpire and base umpires here.
So now Upham's down at first. C.J. Mascaro at the plate. Mascaro 1 for 2 with a leadoff double in the first inning. Ended up scoring. Grounded back to the pitcher in the second. And Mascaro turns on that ball. Hits it into right field. That lands just inside the foul line. Upham's held up at second base. Mascaro safely at second with his second double of the afternoon. And the Cavemen have 2 in scoring position with 1 down. Upham had to hold up initially, not sure if that ball was going to fall. Had to wait and get a read on it. So he's not able to score on that play, but still the Cavemen in good position right now.
Yeah, and this is where the Cavemen get you. Get a base runner on, turn the lineup over, get it to the big bats and start driving in runs.
Gerard hits the first pitch hard to center field. And a bad read by Cooper Goff. It carries over his head. Extra bases, it'll be at least 3. 2 runs are going to score. Bodie Gajero is the beneficiary of a poor read in center field by Cooper Goff. Goff just held right there as that ball's hit straight at him. And Mike, you can speak to the fact that oftentimes that ball hit straight at you can be the most difficult to read.
Yeah, it almost looked like the first step he had was back. He saw it, but then couldn't see it. You could almost see it in his glove, like, whoa, where'd it go? And then next thing you know, he picks it up as it continues to travel over his head. That is a tough read. Ball's hit right at you at night. May have gotten into the lights, maybe into some twilight. Either way, triple, scoring 2 runs.
Yeah, there is a very brief period of time on a night like this where the ball off the bat can just blend into the night sky. And that may have been what happened to Goff right there. So it's a triple for Gajero. Cavemen score 2. They lead 4-1. Some huge insurance for American Fork.
Yeah, and if you're an outfielder in that situation with how hard that ball is hit, you really don't have a whole lot of options other than hoping you get a good read right off the bat. There are times where if a ball is hit higher and you can read it and you maybe you lose it and you can't tell depth, you'll actually take a couple steps one way or the other just to give yourself a little bit more depth to it. The idea is always to take 1 or 2 steps back at an angle until you can read it, and then you can make a better play on the ball. However, that ball right there was absolutely tagged to center.
Yeah, by the time Goff was able to pick it up, that ball gets by, a wild pitch. Gajero scores. It's 5-1. But by the time Goff was able to pick it up, no chance at a recovery. And the Cavemen lead by 4. Looking back earlier in this inning, there was a throwing error that allowed Harry Gardner to reach. You can see the defensive miscue costs Mountain Ridge. Cooper Jones at the plate takes ball 4. So Iacono, after settling in through the second and third innings, struggling right now. Issues a walk to Cooper Jones. Gave up a double and then a triple. 3 runs have scored in the inning, and that may be the end of the line for Iacono. There's activity in the Mountain Ridge bullpen. And there's the signal. Believe that is McKay Callahan, the left-hander, coming into this ball game to relieve Iacono. Iacono goes 3 1/3. He will depart this game trailing 5-1. We'll go ahead and take a break. On the other side, we'll give you the numbers for Callahan as American Fork leads 5-1. And coming back, bottom of the 4th inning, American Fork pulling away from Mountain Ridge. It's a 5-1 game. Pitching change. McKay Callahan coming into the ball game, relieving Ethan Iacono. Rather than give you the numbers for the season on Callahan, just mention that this is Callahan's 2nd appearance today. He came in and threw 2 2/3 innings in the 2-1 extra inning win over the Riverton Silverwolves to open up today's action. Gave up 1 hit, walked a batter, and struck out 2. So we'll see how deep he's able to go. Callahan threw 40 pitches against the Silverwolves.
Already some confusion coming in this game. Buck having to go out and talk to Callahan.
Callahan overall got a 2.06 ERA this season and making his 12th appearance. 17 innings, he's given up 10 hits, struck out 17 batters, so a strikeout per frame. He's walked 10 and allowed 6 runs to score. Comes into the game with a runner on first and 1 down in the 4th inning. Trying to hold the line for the Sentinels offense. This is Cash Polson at the plate. Check on the runner at first. And the pitch misses outside.
Yeah, if you're Callahan here, what you're hoping to do is come in and induce an out fairly quickly to kind of shift the momentum back to neutral to allow your team to start getting back into this.
And again, Callahan misses outside. Is there an added fatigue factor after throwing earlier today and having just a few hours rest in between?
No doubt. Absolutely no doubt there's an added fatigue factor here. So when you come back and you've already heated it up in one part of the day and try to heat it up again later, those muscles have not had a significant amount of time to recover. And so you are basically not 100%. However, when you're in a state championship game like this, there's really only you got to do what you got to do.
All you need is a little adrenaline, right?
Yeah, well, that helps a lot.
2-2 is the count for Polson. Popped high. That should get out of play. Might stay in. Gerard had a chance, unable to make the play. The wind has been doing strange things with pop-ups all day.
Yeah, that ball looked like it was heading to the stands or out of play right off the bat and somehow found its way in about a foot into the field of turf.
Runner takes off. Pitch fouled away. Probably a fortunate break for the Sentinels. It looked like Jones had a great break, probably had second stolen easily, so that foul ball sends him back to first. Polson takes ball 3, running the count full. There's the payoff pitch. Callahan misses outside. So a base on balls drawn by Cash Polson brings Crew Ingersoll to the plate. That's back-to-back walks now issued by Sentinel pitchers. Crew Ingersoll looking for his first hit. He was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd, popped out to third base in the 1st. Rips the ball up the middle. Getting the green light is Cooper Jones. Sliding head first into home. American Fork leads 6-1. They are pounding Mountain Ridge right now. Everything is going right for the Cavemen. They're cooking with fire.
Now, in the last game, you saw it with Lehigh coming back and being able to play with the darts, and they had energy. A lot of times when you're in your second game and having to ramp it back up both physically, mentally, and emotionally, it can be really hard to get that energy back, especially if the opposing team is imposing their will upon you. And you can see it a little bit in Mountain Ridge right now. Energy seems to be all swung to the Cavemen at this point.
Now, Mountain Ridge is going to have to find a way to regain the momentum in this one, but the first order of business is finishing this fourth inning against the hot American Fork Bats. Check on the runner at first. Ingersoll back safely. River Litke at the plate. Rivers had some good swings today. He had a sac fly in the first inning, singled back in the third. He's hitting .412. High fly ball, shallow right field. See if that's deep enough. The runner tags. Strong throw off line. Way off line. Both runners advance. So no error. Ingersoll was advancing on the throw.
Oh! They got an early tag, I believe, and out at first base. Early leave on the tag for Cavemen.
So just a mental mistake made by Crew Ingersoll right there. The run stays on the board for now. They crossed home plate before the appeal. So we go to the fifth inning. American Fork leads 7-1 after scoring 5. You're watching 6A playoff baseball on KSLSports.com. And welcome back. Top of the fifth inning. American Fork has seized the momentum with a 5-run fourth. It's going to be tough sledding for the Sentinels trying to get back into this one. They'll start with Brody Buck, the sophomore catcher, leading off in the fifth. Buck looks at strike one.
Yeah, with your team down 6 runs, a lot of times you feel like there's pressure to do so much in one at bat. And realistically, the only way you're going to make a comeback from this type of deficit is to get base runners on and start chipping away at the lead. You need 1 to 2 runs per inning while holding them on defense. If you can do that, you'll give yourself a chance to be there at the end of the game.
Can't help but feel like if the Sentinels can get a couple of runs here, that would give Callahan a boost on the mound. Definitely saw the shoulders slumping from the Mountain Ridge team in that last half inning. They try and pick the energy back up in their second game today. And Buck strikes out swinging. Bringing Tegan Jenkins to the plate.
Well, if you're Willardson here, your job is to maintain intensity as if it's a 1 or 2 run game and come at these hitters and just not give them a chance. And you saw that in the first at bat with Buck, challenging him and beating him with a fastball up and away.
Jenkins swings at the first pitch. Diving play made by Cooper Jones. Strong throw just in time to beat Jenkins.
I don't think you can understate how good that play was. Ball was hit extremely hard. Had to pick it on an awkward bounce to stand up and throw a fast runner and Jenkins out at first. Great play by the shortstop Jones.
So 2 quick outs here in the fifth inning. Not what the Sentinels were looking for. Here's the top of the lineup, Stockton Falks. Ball misses inside. Falks is 0 for 2 this evening. Rips a ball to center. So a 2-out single from Stockton Falks keeps the line moving for Cooper Goff.
Good job by Falks there, waiting on a pitch and getting it. Nice job from the CSI commit.
College of Southern Idaho in the same conference as the Salt Lake Community College Bruins. Always a strong team.
Yeah, I believe the Bruins are in Grand Junction now for the JUCO World Series.
Yes, they are.
First game to be Saturday, I believe.
They drew an 8 seed. They'll face Florida Southwestern, the Seminoles. And actually, the Bruins and Seminoles drew the primetime 7:30 game in Colorado. All of the Junior College World Series games will be broadcast on ESPN+. So if any of you out there with kids going to some of these schools, this would be a great time to get familiar with the programs. Goff looks at strike one. Cooper Goff put the Sentinels on the scoreboard with a solo home run in the first inning. That's the last offense they got. They've got 3 hits in the ball game. Pitch misses outside. Count goes to 2-1.
I believe Ethan Iacono is a Salt Lake Community College commit.
Goff fooled by the changeup. Counts full. You'll see Falks in motion on the next pitch. Pulled foul. Just inches foul down the first base line. Good contact from Cooper Goff once again. If that had stayed fair, Falks was likely going to be able to score. So we'll do the payoff pitch all over again. Runner still in motion. And Goff strikes out swinging to end the 5th inning. American Fork leads 7-1 after 4.5 innings of play. We'll be right back with more 6A high school playoff baseball action on KSLSports.com. Tab Bank, home of the Tab Spending Rewards checking account with 3.5% annual percentage yield on your account balance and 1% cash back on eligible purchases. But great rewards are just the beginning at Tab Bank. Convenient online mobile banking, no hidden fees, no complex qualification requirements, no minimum opening balances, and 0 account fees. It's a big deal at Tab Bank, member FDIC. New pitcher for the Sentinels coming into the game, junior Caden Goodsell, making his first appearance. Goodsell pitched in, this is his 5th game this year. He's 1-0, yet to allow an earned run. Looking a little bit deeper into the numbers, he's only thrown 2 1/3 innings. He's struck out 4 while walking 1. So limited appearances, limited experience, but Goodsell will face this difficult American Fork lineup, starting with Max Miller. Miller reached on a hit by pitch in the first inning and struck out in the 3rd. Ahead in the count, 2-1. Pitch misses high behind the leadoff hitter, 3-1.
A conversation I've had with multiple coaches here in the state is talking about getting pitchers experience throughout the season and trying to spread the innings out so that if you do comes to the state tournament time, You have guys with multiple innings of experience. They understand how to handle situations so that you can go, if you do go deep into a playoff like this, like Mountain Ridge is now, that you can bring these players in and they're not completely overwhelmed by the situation. So far, Goodsell seems to be doing okay. Full count here, but only pitching a few innings has before coming to the state tournament down by 6 runs. Could be a tall order for somebody.
And he walks the first batter he faces. Max Miller heads down to first. And now Harry Gardner will hit. Gardner reached on a throwing error in the 4th inning. That started the cascade of events that led to 5 Cavemen runs. This lead exploded from 2-1 to 7-1.
And I imagine if you're Ingersoll here, no lead is big enough. You should not take your foot off the gas here.
Fouled back to the screen. Gardner hitting .325 this season. He's 0 for 2 today. Pitch misses low, even in the count 1-1. Again fouled back.
Runner in motion on that one. I'm not shocked to see Ingersoll getting his runners in motion against a slightly inexperienced pitcher in Goodsell.
Gardner waves over the top, striking out. So 1 out for Goodsell.
Solid pitch by Goodsell. Down, off speed down, completely just missed.
Taking a look ahead, if American Fork can hang on and win this game, they'd set themselves up and the pitching staff very nicely. The first game of the championship series is not scheduled until Friday afternoon. So they'd have a couple of days off, knowing that whoever they'd face in the championship game will have to play another game tomorrow. Use up some more pitchers. I think that's part of the importance right now for American Fork, is realizing that what a big advantage that would be. And Upham with a single past the shortstop. Ball gets free. Runners being very aggressive. Max Miller advances to third. Upham to second base. The Cavemen have 2 in scoring position once again on a defensive miscue by the Sentinels.
And we already mentioned it. We talked about American Fork, want to make sure they get a solid lead here. And just to keep pouring it on, they're staying aggressive on the base pass. This is a team that has been here, has been in the postseason a lot. Ingersoll has coached a lot of good teams deep into the postseason. That experience is paying off.
There's the leadoff hitter, CJ Mascaro. And that pitch gets away. Miller comes sprinting home. Throw goes down to third base. Upham safe there. And it's an 8-1 lead. The Cavemen continue to pour it on. CJ Mascaro at the plate. He's 2 for 3 today with a pair of doubles. He scored 2 runs. Mascaro, as you mentioned earlier, Mike, a commit to the TCU Horned Frogs in the Big 12, following in the steps of current AAA third baseman Braden Taylor from the Copper Hills Grizzlies. Taylor, I believe, entered the season as the number 3 prospect in the Tampa Bay Rays system. and a top 5 third baseman across all of Major League Baseball. Here's the 1-1. That pitch misses high.
Yeah, Braden Taylor, number 1 pick by the Rays a few years back.
And just another feather in that cap of the Beehive State. Stacking up Major League Baseball talent. Mascaro pulls that ball foul. TCU actually was here just last weekend playing the Utes at Smith's Ballpark, the final 3 games at Smith's Ballpark. Final 3 games ever played on the grounds at 1300 South in West Temple. Base hit to center field. Upham will score easily. Mascaro's 3 for 4. The Cavemen lead 9-1.
Well, with us in the 5th inning, an 8-run lead by American Fork. Mountain Ridge in danger of ending this game early on a 10-run rule.
So that's the end of the line for Goodsell. We'll have another pitching change. We'll take a quick break. Come back and tell you about the numbers for the new pitcher out of Mountain Ridge. American Fork pouring it on. They lead 9-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Welcome back to UCCU Ballpark. Mountain Ridge struggling right now against the American Fork Cavemen, the number 1 seed in the 6A playoffs. New pitcher to tell you about, it's Tyler James coming into the game. James got a 6.44 ERA, making his 10th appearance. He's 0 for 2 this season in 29 1/3 innings. He's given up 40 base hits, 27 earned runs have scored against him. He's walked 12 and struck out 22. On the other side of the coin, American Fork is on the verge of an early win. If they can score 2 more runs, that would be the end of the ball game. Bodie Gajero at the plate. Runner on first, represented by CJ Mascaro. Mascaro takes off, beats the throw, stolen base. American Fork is not trying to mess around. They want this win right now. Bodie Gajero, 2 for 3 tonight as he looks at strike 1. Two strikes on Gajero. Singled and scored in the 1st inning, tripled and scored in the 4th. Rips the ball to first, 1 bounce. Good play by Brody Gerard to stay with that one. Steps on the bag to retire Gajero, 2 down. Mascaro advances to 3rd on the play. Here's Cooper Jones. Counts 1-0 on Cooper Jones. Jones has walked twice and scored once. Hard hit to short. Good play to retire the side. We head to the top of the 6th. Mountain Ridge trailing 9-1 on KSLSports.com. Are you ready to unlock your full athletic potential? At Athletic Potential, we specialize in helping athletes conquer pain, recover faster, and achieve peak performance. Whether you're a professional, collegiate, high school, travel ball, or recreational athlete, our tailored approach ensures you're stronger, faster, and more resilient. From personalized physical therapy to sports-specific performance training, we guide you every step of the way. Plus, with remote coaching options, expert support is always within reach. Don't let injuries hold you back. Visit athletic-potential.com to schedule your free consultation today and take the first step towards your best performance yet. Leading off in the top of the 6th inning, it's Cooper Goff for the Sentinels facing Max Miller, a new pitcher. Miller coming into the game actually started in left field. Now takes over on the mound, and replacing him in left is the designated hitter Crew Ingersoll. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Goff strikes out swinging. Goff showing some frustration after that strikeout as he heads to the dugout.
Understandable by Goff. He got totally fooled on that off-speed pitch.
So 1-1 count, one down here in the 6th. Brody Gerard. Bouncer past the third baseman. Play could have been made by Gardner, not able to get a glove on it. So that's a single for Brody Gerard, his second base hit today. Bringing Dalton Fay to the plate. Fay getting the start as a designated hitter as a sophomore. Pitch in the dirt, gets by the catcher. Gerard advances to second base on the play.
Miller coming into the game looking like he's trying to do a little bit too much on that pitch. He was successful in his first at bat with a strikeout. In his last 2 pitches, he looks like he was just trying to be too fine with it.
So we'll have a mound visit for American Fork. Max Miller, a little bit wild right now. He's got plenty of time to hone it in. American Fork with a big lead, 9-1. Mountain Ridge needs to make a surge if they're going to have any chance to keep the season alive.
Yeah, this visit's all about a pitcher reset. You watch a pitcher do as well as he did in that first batter, and then to come back and have him respond the way he did here. You're just trying to get your pitcher back in the right frame of mind. Hey, you don't have to do more than you have to do. You know, hey, it's all good. We have an 8-run lead. We need you to throw strikes and challenge these hitters. Let your defense work behind you.
So we're ready to continue. Dalton Fay in the box. Catches the outside corner. Good pitch from Miller. That's what you want from the mound visit. Here's the 1-1. Just a little bit low. Good take by Fay.
That mound is, it's also just a confidence boost. A lot of times coaches will go out and say, hey, look, trust your stuff. It's good. It just was proven good on that one batter. Just because that guy hit it doesn't mean that this guy's going to hit it. Go trust your stuff.
Wow, look at that curveball. Look at that ball started in the right-handed batter's box and just dropped right over the plate for a strike.
Miller's arm slot coming a little three-quarters, coming across the place from the middle of the mound. That ball is sweeping across one plate away from a right-handed hitter.
Fay just gets a piece to stay alive.
If you're Fay here, you've seen pretty consistent away, except for the one off speed. I think you look for off speed right here, 2 strikes.
That's exactly what Fay was looking for. Lifts the ball out to center field. Not deep enough for the runner to tag. Now 2 down here in the 6th. Brings Riker Morton to the plate. Strike 1. Good pitch by Max Miller. That mound visit proven to be a good reset for Miller. He comes in trying to shut this game down. Nobody working in the American Fork bullpen. Pitch misses high, 1-1. You know, just a glance at the scoreboard tells you a lot about how this game has gone. American Fork with 9 runs, but they've only had 5 base hits. They've gotten a lot of help from the Sentinels pitching staff in this one. So there's a bouncer by Morton to third. And he's retired. We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. American Fork leading 9-1 on KSLSports.com. The 6th inning, American Fork leading 9-1. The Cavemen have a chance to end this game early if they can score 2 runs. In the 5A playoffs, got a bit of a stunner. Spanish Fork knocking off Maple Mountain. Advancing to the 5A championship series, they'll face the Brighton Bengals. 5A series taking place down at Miller Park in Provo, not too far from here. Leading off, this is Cash Polson. Counts 1-1 for Polson. Tyler James still on the mound.
Nice to see James come in and throw some strikes, challenge these hitters, and try to just get some outs. Give Mountain Ridge a chance to get back up to the plate. Ooh.
That's hit hard. Deep, the biggest part of the ballpark. And it'll hold it. Cooper Goff makes the catch. Off the bat, that looked like trouble. But it's well over 400 feet up there to straightaway center field. Goff had plenty of room.
Yeah, as an outfielder, you come to these fields and you start looking at dimensions and you start having to calibrate, you know, how much room do I actually have? Where do I stand? You know, based on being able to get these kind of balls. And sometimes when you are not used to playing on fields that play this deep, you have to kind of recalibrate, realize that that ball is you're gonna have plenty of room to catch it. You feel free to just go full throttle and just go back and get it.
That's one of the things, one of the drawbacks about these tournaments when teams don't have a chance to practice on the field, they don't have a chance to take batting practice, so you're not able to work on some of those things. It's just stuff you would talk about on the bus or in the clubhouse, and then you're hoping your players remember.
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing back in the day. We'd go play at Lindquist Field. That's where the state championships were played. And I remember specifically pregame, our coaches taking us out as outfielders and hitting balls into the gap to try to get a feel for that, just kind of where that outfield wall would be on an average fly ball, on a ball over our head, those type of things. And I can tell you on multiple instances in those games, I used that knowledge to be able to track balls down and have confidence that I wasn't going to run into a wall.
Makes a big difference. Crew Ingersoll strikes out looking, 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. And River Litke takes ball 1.
We saw Tyler James earlier today, although not on the mound. He's shortstop for Mountain Ridge. Nice pitch by James. Good frame by Buck.
There's the 1-1. Strike 2, swinging through that high fastball. Litke has 1 RBI today. 1 for 2 with a single. And strike 3 looking, Tyler James. With a beautiful curveball, drops it in the zone. 1, 2, 3, go the Cavemen in the 6th. We head to the top of the 7th. Mountain Ridge needs 8 to tie. You're watching 6A high school playoff baseball on KSL. Top of the 7th, Mountain Ridge down to their final 3 outs. It's been a struggle today for the Sentinels. They had a solo home run from Cooper Goff in the top half of the 1st inning. It's been all American Fork since then. The Cavemen scored 2 in the 1st, 5 in the 4th, added 2 more in the 6th, add 2 more in the 5th to build this 9-1 lead. It's a last opportunity for Mountain Ridge. If American Fork can hang on, they'll advance to the 6A title game Friday afternoon. New pitcher to tell you about taking over for Max Miller. It's Schaefer Dixon. Dixon, a sophomore. Making just his 3rd appearance this season. Has a small sample size, pretty high ERA. Correction on that. This is Teague Kelly coming in for American Fork. So Teague Kelly, the lefty. Popped out of play. Teague Kelly making his 13th appearance. He's 1-0 this year with a 2.95 earned run average. 21 1/3 innings. He struck out 19 batters against 14 walks, allowing 9 runs to score. He's got a chance to close down this game and send the Cavemen to the 6A title game, and he starts it off with a strikeout looking. Retiring the Mountain Ridge shortstop.
Well, and if you're saying anything, you've got T. Kelly with significant experience and fairly good results for this year, and we just haven't seen him yet. How many more arms does American Fork have in their bullpen they just haven't had to use?
Matt, just the depth of this Caveman team shows how formidable they are. It's one thing to have a bunch of boppers coming to the plate, but to have a pitching staff that is, maybe double figures deep with arms that you trust. And that's a huge benefit for this American Fork team. We've already covered the fact that whoever they face in the 6A title series will have to play tomorrow. So they'll come off of a day off on Friday, and their opponent will have played 4 straight days. Buck fouls the pitch away to stay alive. Counts 1-2. So 1-2 count on Buck. Kelly comes set, and Buck strikes out. Strike 3 was dropped, so a throw down to first base to complete the play. 2 down. American Fork 1 out away from an appearance in the 6A State Championship Series.
Yeah, and American Fork, this is what they were hoping for. Heading towards that championship series here with a good game against Mountain Ridge. Offense came alive. Pitching has been on par. This is what you want the momentum to be like heading into that championship series.
Counts 1-0 on Tegan Jenkins. As that pitch misses outside. A reminder, Game 1 of the championship series is scheduled for Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock.
Ooh.
As that pitch hits Jenkins. So he'll head down to first base, turns the lineup over for Stockton Phelps.
Nice for the senior to get one more at bat here in Phelps.
Phelps is 1 for 3. Is trying to keep the lineup moving right now. 2 down in the top of the 7th inning. Misses high. I'm sure what a thrill this would be for Teague Kelly to be on the mound, clinching a berth in the state title game. Strike 1. Nice curveball from Kelly. Check swing tapper back to the pitcher, flips to first, and the Cavemen punch their ticket to the 6A State Championship Series. Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock, the Cavemen will be back in action. They will face either the Davis Darts or the Lehigh Pioneers. Mike, what are some of your takeaways from this game dominated by the Cavemen?
Yeah, we talked about game plan of the Cavemen coming into this game, get their offense going, have their pitchers throw strikes, let their defense work. Their game plan was executed exactly how they wanted it to. And this is exactly, if you are a Caveman fan, if you are a Caveman athlete and the coaching staff, this is exactly how you want to go into the championship series. All cylinders are firing. You now have a few days off to rest up your pitchers, fine-tune anything you need to, and then head into this championship series starting on Friday.
So the Cavemen pick up the 9-1 win. Mountain Ridge only run came on a solo first-inning home run by Cooper Goff. The Cavemen scored 2 in the first and then hammered out 5 runs in the 4th inning, 2 more in the 5th. And interestingly, only 5 base hits in the ball game. American Fork taking advantage of some defensive miscues and just showing a great eye and some incredible patience at the plate, working walks, getting hit by pitches, and generating opportunities to score and putting runners on base. The Cavemen have rolled through this 6A tournament, setting themselves up for a chance at the title. That'll end it for us here today at Utah Valley University and UCCU Ballpark. I'm Brian Priest. He's Mike Matthews. You've been watching the 6A State Championship Playoffs on KSLSports.com.